Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to the last part of Newness Counseling Organization Mindshift Webinar 2024. I hope you've had the opportunity to watch the other three parts. They are in this YouTube channel. You find them here. But if not, you can still go back and watch them. This part, as the last part of this series of Mindshift Webinar, is going to focus on the secrets of having a stable life after your job. You need to understand that it is very important after you've worked somewhere for years to be able to live a stable and happy life. Because the reason why we work is so that we can have a better life. But if you're not going to have that after your job, after you have retired, then you're going to have a very challenging life. A life where you have to beg people for upkeep, a life where you have to beg people for whatever that you want to do in your life. And that can be a very painful life. Understanding that you're already an old person. You don't have much energy to move up and down. You don't have much energy to work. So it is very important to make sure that by the time you are retiring, you have something to fall back on. So that you do not say, like most people say, I have educated my kids, they'll take care of me when I'm old. There's no guarantee to that. They can all be reckless. And actually, instead of being an asset, they become a liability to you. So we are going to talk about a few things that you can be able to do to make sure that by the time you are walking out of your job, by the time you are retiring, whether it is retiring or, because it's not a must that you're walking out of a job because of retirement. At some point you feel like, I think I've had enough of this job, so either let me go do something else or let me just go live a different life. So when that time comes, you need to be sure that you're falling back on something. So there are key things that we need to concern ourselves with. And if you, the way I concluded the last part of this series, that is, getting a promotion and raise, there's something that I told you, that if you're able to work on yourself, if you're able to upgrade yourself and be better, then you have no problem with living a better life, because you're walking out of that job a better person. You're walking out of that person, that environment, that job, already with a great value. A great value such that your society is craving for you. Your society is looking forward to welcome you back, to absorb you, so that you can continue with certain projects in the society. But if you walk out of your job with less value than you were 100, or not 100, but 10 years ago, then that means that you will be less valuable in the community. So, and that's why you usually get to see that, sometimes a president retires, but after they have retired, that's actually when they get busier. So after retirement, that's when now they become the chairman of this committee, the chairperson of this committee. They start that project, this project, international committee meetings and all that. So because that person has walked out of the job that they were doing with a greater value, and that means that they have a very high level of demand in the society. So that's also the one thing that you need to make sure. But that by the time you are walking out of that job, you have a great value such that you are still on demand. Even if you are 60 years old, even if you are 70 years old, 50 years old, you are still on demand. But that's only going to happen if your value is still there. The first thing that I want you to understand is that you should always do more than you get paid for. That is, if you want to be paid more than you work for. Let me repeat that. If you want to be paid more than you work for, you need to first work for more than you are being paid. So if you are being paid a salary of 30,000, or still as an employee, make sure that you are doing a job that is worth 40,000 or 50,000. So kama unalipwa 30,000, hakikisha kwamba unafanya kazi yenye uko worth kulipwa 50,000. Not for the benefit of your employer, but for the benefit of you becoming better. That means that kama unataka kulipwa pesa mingi kuliko ile kazi unafanya, kwanza lazima uhakikishe kwamba unafanya kazi mingi kuliko ile pesa unalipwa. And that is why you come to realize that the CEO is really busy. just attending a few meetings here and there, signing a few contracts, a few papers here and there, nothing much. But they are being paid double or 3 times or even 4 times the salary that you are getting. And you are the person who wakes up 10 a.m. You wake up 5 a.m. in the morning. You go back home at 10 p.m. You work for so many hours, but your salary is low. The reason is because that person who is being paid more than they are working for, it's because at one point they worked for more than they were being paid for. So that is the first secret. If you want to be paid for more than you are working for, make sure that first you are working more than you are getting paid for. That's the first concept. The other thing that I want you to understand is work twice as hard on yourself as you usually work on your job. And this is all for the benefit of your self-empowerment, for your self-development, for your self-value, to make your life better. If you're working for 10 hours a day in your job, make sure that you are working for 12 hours a day on yourself. By that I mean, you could be working maybe for every 1 hour that you are busy at your workplace, maybe within 1 hour, only 30 minutes you are usually busy. So, for example, let's say, you go to your workplace at 7 a.m. in the morning or 8 a.m. in the morning, and then you walk out of that place at 6 p.m. in the evening. That does not mean that the entire day you have been busy working. Maybe the only hours which you are busy on your job is maybe 4 or 5 hours between 8 and 6 p.m. in the evening. Meaning that you have about 4 hours or 5 hours again, which while still working on your job, you can work on your self-development. So make sure that you carry a book. When you're not busy on your work, you're reading the book. When you have that free time during your work time, you're reading a book, or you're doing some e-reading. You can have an e-book. It's not a must you carry a physical book. You can read on different scholarly personal development aspects. So you find articles online that you can be able to read. So make sure that you are working on yourself twice as hard as you are working on your job. The other thing is that you need to understand that children are not assets. There are people who are going to say that mimi nimeelimisha watoto, so hata niki-retire, they are going to take care of me. No. There's no guarantee that they'll take care of you. So you need to have a plan that you're going to fall back on. You need to have a plan for your own life. And this plan should not include that your children are going to take care of you. They'll have their own lives to take care of. They'll have their own families to take care of. And even they will also be struggling. At some point, you'll be the one taking care of them. So don't say that nimeelimisha watoto so wakati nitazeeka they are going to take care of me. There's no guarantee. Remember, your children are not an asset. They can actually become a liability at your old age. So the other thing that I want you to understand is that when you are getting out of your job, and we are concluding, you should have established something that is going to keep you busy. Because the reason why most people die very fast, soon after retirement, is because they are so idle. Umezoea kufanya kazi from morning to evening, and then you have retired, umerudi kwa kijiji, you are sleeping the whole day. You're going to get sick. That's where now you start now having lifestyle diseases. You have diabetes, uko na shukari, umeanza kuumwa na miguu, mwili imeuma and all that. So you need to make sure that by the time you're walking out of your job, you have a plan that is going to keep you busy out there in the community. Be it something personal, be it a community service, be it a family business, whatever that it is. But make sure you have invested on something that is going to keep you busy. Because there's no way you can be accelerating. For example, let's say ulikuwa unateremuka, ulikuwa unapanda mlima. Umepanda mlima and then umefika to a certain point. Umeshuka at once, So mlima imeisha and then immediately it's a cliff. Definitely you are going to die. That's the same thing that you want to do. you have been climbing a mountain every day you go to work, working very hard, working tirelessly from morning to evening every day, at your workplace. And then now you have retired. And the day before you retire, you are very busy in the office. And then the day after you retire, you are just idle. So definitely that is going to have an effect on your health, physical health, and even mental health. So you need to make sure that by the time you are retiring, you have something that is going to keep you busy physically and psychologically so that you do not start getting sick after the retirement. When you are also retiring, you should make sure that at least you have an asset that is going to generate some income for you. What people usually call self-employment is not the best thing to do, because self-employment means that you must be there every day for that for that income to, for you to get the profit that you usually get every day. So at ndio upate profit ya hiyo kazi unafanya, you must be there. But when you have retired, it's time to relax. It's time to enjoy the money that you have, the labor that you have been doing, the work that you have been doing for all those years. So you need to establish something that can even work without your physical presence on the ground. Okay? That is have an asset that is going to generate income for you. This is what I say. When you work for money, because for the 10 years or 20 years that you are working before retirement, you are working for money. So work for money and have a plan to make sure that that money you have worked for is going to work for you. Earn enough money so that that money is going to earn you enough money to be able to carry on with your life without stress. So if you have earned 1 million, or you have been able to save 1 million, make sure that 1 million is going to generate more money for you. You see? So the most important thing is to make sure that you do not become more busy after you have retired. Just make sure that you are, you have some level of physical activity. You are doing something, but again, don't be too busy because you will not have retired. You see? So make sure that the money that you have been able to accumulate, or the wealth, or the assets, or the resources that you have been able to accumulate while you are working, is going to continue now generating more money for you to be able to take care of you when you have retired. That is very important. So in everything that you do, before you retire, make sure that you have a plan that is going to work for you, not for you to work for it. The money that you have worked for all those years, make sure that you have a plan for that money now to work for you and generate more money without that much hard work. Yours will be just to oversee, to supervise, and make sure that everything is going on well. Thank you so much for sticking around with me towards the end of this Mindshift Webinar 2024 series. It has been 4 sections, and I am hoping that you have been able to benefit from one area to another. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share with your friends so that they can also benefit from this concept. Let us continue growing together. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I promise you, I'll be back.